Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, Outcropticians. Sorry for all the delays. I am Jamie from Tradespotting. I imagine if you're here now, you're probably a subscriber of Rocky's. He's not well, so I'm stepping in for him. He's only ever missed one live stream before, and I stood in for him then. So it's very similar to that. And as the pin message says at the top of the chat box there, never break the chain. No. And he inspired me, so his chain is the one that keeps me going. So here I am, standing in, and he told people in a tweet that he was not going to be making videos because he wasn't feeling well. And I thought, geez, I really got to get on this and help him. And I noticed in that tweet he put out, he got a nice get well wishes soon from Eric Crown, who inspired Rocky, who Rocky in turn inspired me. So all those good things, all those good people in the world, all those good vibes. Thanks so much, especially for that message from Eric. Everybody who sent well wishes to Rich, thanks. He appreciates it. He has blood poisoning, sepsis, and it's very dangerous. He's also allergic to penicillin, so it's difficult for him in particular. So he's in the other room having a rest, and he had a brief moment while he was awake, while I was making sure he had his medicine, and anyway, taking care of him, and he's now going to go and stay asleep now. So you don't have to chat in the chat box if you're there, Rocky. You can go to sleep and get better and be back soon. And until then, we're all good. We got you. We got you, buddy. So we'll look at everything everybody wants to look at. We'll talk about all the things Rocky normally talks about. Take me slightly longer than it might normally to go through the charts, because I'm not going to change anything. And I'll have to use Rocky's indicators and his setup for them and so on. Let's look at GameStop, and I can tell you it did what it said it would do on my channel. I see everybody. I dig the echo though, it's epic. Okay, there's an echo. Sort this stuff out, Jamie. Jamie, is there still an echo? Voice mod and microphone. Okay. Is there still an echo? That should be it. I've turned off everything apart from one thing. So I'll give it like, 15 seconds? Because, you know, I am from the future and whatnot. Here comes the ambulance. And that, appropriate when amble. For Rockstar, Rocky Outcrop, give him a hug from us. He probably would hate that, you know, when you get blood poisoning. It gets into every part of your body, all your bones and all your joints. So your knees ache, your arms ache, your elbows ache, your fingers ache, your toes ache, your neck aches, your nose. Bing! The speaker is working somehow. Sweet. Merrick Sanders donated $10 for super chat. Wow, thanks very much, Merrick. That'll make him feel a lot better than a hug from me. You scream. Because it's agony, you know, you move and that, it's just so sore. D. Arker, you legend. Check out all these ambulances. Fucking hell. Sounds bad when you're watching, but when you're here, it's like, what the hell is going on? Now there's dogs. There's wild dogs chasing them down the street as well. Shit's going off, guys. Hope everybody's okay. Right, so, including Rockstar, obviously, I can hear him listening in there and not going to sleep. You should be asleep, Rocky. I closed the window already. The window is closed. Rocky's experiencing what it's like to hear the ambulances from the other side of as the window is closed. Close the window, even telling me that'll be hurting him. See, where did this come from? Was it a curse put on him by somebody with magica powers? Nope, it's a long-running health condition that Rocky has, which unfortunately is very difficult to treat and results every so often in these health complications, which are very dangerous. So he needs to take good care of himself. And I worry about him all the time. Nice shirt, says Mo. Thanks. It's not really. It's just a shirt. Thanks, though. Backstreet streamer. Yo, I'm the backseat streamer. Calling shotgun today. Right, so thanks very much for those donations. That was very generous. Paul Dooley, too Rocky for comfy pillow budget. That's a good shout. He needs a whole new bed. Rocky's 6'4", I think. I mean, he calls himself 6'3", I think, but he's actually 6'4". He's just modest. And in his place, we changed it all around for Airbnbs a couple of years ago, and well, we put in a slightly smaller bed that would fit the guests, but it's not great for Rocky, so he hangs off the thing. He hangs off it like a bat. Whoa, GME, you're looking very smart. Thanks, Simon. Not really. Rocky Outcrop, Western you will. Get better than me. Got all those lovely messages for Rocky in chat. And those donations, which we'll put towards, well, what did we get him earlier? Got him 2 huge smoothies and then diluted juice, which some people call squash, but that's a stupid idea because squash obviously is an illustrative word. You know, you would have to squash the juice out of something for it to be squash. It wouldn't be like reheated, reconstituted, pulped fruit bits with water and sugar added, like boiled and pasteurized. That wouldn't be squashed, especially not when it was then condensed, shitloads of sugar added, and then turned into some sort of diluting juice. That would be diluting juice or cordial. Squash is something else, but try to convince somebody of that. You're on a losing streak. Daniel Assange, $5. There he is. I'm going to eat that up before Rocky even sees it. Yum, 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 yum. Now I'm 15 seconds ahead of you, so Rocky, that's gone, that fiver. I've eaten it. Thanks, Daniel. This is a different chair. It's still shit, but it's a lot better than the one I sit in normally. And oh my goodness, that is a fucking awful one. Daniel Assange. Thanks, Daniel. So I'll go in and look at this stuff, what our price is doing. Well, I was about to look at GME briefly there. 15 minutes. Sorry, Rocky, I'm trying to hide your Bollinger Bands there. We got on my channel, we talked about how it hit the 236. And it was probably going to go back to the... what chart is this? 173.38. We got up to close to 174. Did it even get there? I don't know. Maybe. That's what we said. Touch that. Jamie over 6 foot. Yes, 6'1" is me. 6'1" a tiny bit, but hey, who cares about the tiny bit? Whatever, really. I still feel tiny because everyone else in my family, apart from my mum, is much bigger than me. Like Rocky's 6'4", my dad's 6'4", and John, my big brother, he's like 6'5" something, 6'6" maybe, I don't know. So like I've always felt tiny, and a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, I don't know, a while ago, lifetime ago now, I was going out with this girl in Amsterdam, and she was like 6'3", 6'4" as well. So I was like tiny one. I've always been the tiny one. Then I walk outside and I'm like, I'm not so tiny. I think I'm over like in the top 2 or 3%, but like, you know, doesn't feel like that. 6'3", no, 6'1" and a big bit. 6'2", 6'2". If you were right, am I 6'2" and a bit? I don't know. I'm 6'2", 6'1" and a bit. 6'2", 6'1" and a big bit. I can't remember. I think I'm 6'2". I don't know. It's like 188 centimeters or something. Whatever that is. Damn, Jamie. I love you, buddy. Such a great brother. I'm glad to have a brother like you in my life, too. You're a real gem. Yeah, aren't we lucky, man? Your brother also good at technical analysis, too. What a legend. Bing, what's that? Oh, my goodness. Tommy, you joined up as an early supporter. Thanks so much. That's really appreciated. By me and Rocky. Thanks. Just let me know if you'd like me to look at anything. Along with everybody else, the members, non-members, naters, non-donators, whatever, anything Rocky normally looks at, I'll cover so that he's got his audience got their fix, you know. You know, and some of you are insomniacs. You're addicted. You know, you're addicted the same way Kim Marsh is allegedly addicted. That's you guys. So let's cover it, because I know, I understand. I've got the same feeling. A wee little lad. Hey, Tony. The greatest. That's where you've been, the greatest. I'm only 6 foot, but felt taller than most people in Europe when I went to visit. Europe, where are you from, the greatest? I think Europe's quite tall. I think Europe's probably, is it not the tallest continent? I would imagine it is. The tallest city in the world is Amsterdam, which I loved so much because, like, you don't notice over here, but like when you're chopping up vegetables or whatever, you have to like bend over too much. It's awful. It's particularly bad when you're like washing your hands in toilets anywhere. It's like bending right down like that. It's crap. Whereas in Amsterdam, everything's like half a foot taller. So you're like, yes. It's like being in tall people's land. Evan E., what did he say before it gets moved? Holy shit, just got past the ad. Yeah. Boom. Welcome, Evan E. Jimmy-san. Hey, Kevin-san. Kevin Maxwellson. Good to see you, Jack Kevinson. Very, very good, Kevinson. Rockyson, not so good son. But soon, good so good soon. Kevinson. But these are all gambling. Think Dutch tallest citizens in Europe. They are, Paul. They are. They're the tallest citizens in Europe. There's two things I can't stand. I saw this the other day. I'm not sure who it was, so if I'm stealing it off you, thanks. And it was a quote from, I think it was Michael Caine, but that couldn't have been because he wouldn't say something like this. There's only two things I can't stand. One is intolerance of people because of their culture. And the other is the Dutch. Good to see you today, Jimmy. Wishing Rocky well. Got some rest, man. Feel it deliver. That's the funny. The tallest living, the lowest place. That's funny. The tallest living in the lowest place. Hi, you're talking about Amsterdam. You are right. You're funny, yes, because they should all be underwater. Oh, what a terrible expression that is to even utter. Daniel Assange, dude, what do you do in the bathroom sink if you wash your hands in the toilet? Did I say that? Well, you're washing your hands in the toilet. The toilet is the cubicle, right? That's how we talk about these things. Like the rooms generally are named after the purpose, right? We wouldn't call it the, I know some people call it the wash closet, but you in there like, what are you doing in the wash closet? Like really, what do you call the toilet in your house? The bathroom, because not all of them have baths, It's the toilet, right? That's what you call that room. But sure, yeah, I mean, you're fucking with me. I get it. Cool. No problem. What do I do in the bathroom sink if you wash your hands? Oh, well, I wash my bum in the bathroom sink, of course, Daniel. Doesn't everybody? Sorry, I didn't catch on quick enough that we were doing there, Daniel. Shame on me. That quote is from his character, Nigel Powers in Austin Powers 3. Right. So what you're saying is that you really meant it then. And I can see, I can't disagree. Dialectical differences, lol. Good on your brother standing in. Right, I really get on with it. What's the lavatory? It's a particular right wing brand of politician made out of this really hot molten core, usually rocks. Jack Rea, that's done by millions of us. Pinning price to $1.69. If I'm Scottish and Dutch but live in Nova Scotia, do I get a pass? Also, any update on Pickle Financial collab? Oh, sugar. And I spoke to Pickle. Are you talking to me or talking to Rocky? I don't know what you're talking about exactly there. But I can tell you that I got Twitter back. He went through my direct messages to shitloads. What's Twitter like? Everything's like this. So like, here's your messages, and you're like, sound. And then it's like, here's like your other messages that for some reason we've separated. And you find them, and you're like, right, that's where all they went. And then they're like, oh, you've got these like message requests or whatever. And then you're like, fuck's sake, find that. And then like, but within that, there's like hidden ones because someone's like, yo, fucking hell, amazing, this is fucking that, fucking something. And they're actually like, well, we need to go for inboxes. And each one of them is like pioneer, right? You're out there pioneering through Twitter and you find these new fucking inboxes. And everything's like that. Like, fuck off. Pardon me, shouldn't be saying these things. This affects Rocky's channel. Jamie, I believe big bank charts are performing wick-off distribution. No, they're not, Simon. If you can look at GPM, Morgan Stanley, Citi, Wells Fargo, and Bank of Back, they all look exactly the same. What do you think? Oh, right, you're doing it on big banks are performing wick-off distribution. Oh, you mean on their charts? Those charts of those assets are going through wick-off distribution. Let's check that out. Simon, you may be right. I thought you were talking specifically about GME. I have to withdraw from this GME focus and these GME tinted lenses. Pah! Explosive cryonist politics. Yeah, very much so, right? Volca conservatologist. Blung blung, Catty Babes for garlic smoothie for Rocky. Are you a lunatic, Catty Babes? A garlic smoothie? Is that some sort of... Are you French? What's going on? It's not like he's not a vampire or that. What's with garlic smoothies? Oh, garlic, because it cleans the blood. Smart thinking. Good shout. Yeah, well, I'll go and check that out after this stream and see what happens. Adam Fraser, if there are any more free passes in NS, please let me know. I can make use of them. Simon, the banks on the hook for the shorts of GME look very bearish. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're looking at the bank's charts, the bank. So we'll see out. Let's see that. Let's have a look and see if there's some extra Wyckoff distribution. What phase you're talking about? Give me a shout. Watch which banks. You told me all that already. Like, give me two tickers because that's plenty, and the time frame that you're seeing it on, and we'll have a look. And if you've got any idea with phases or whatever, talk about that, and then I'll have a look at it, and that'll help me get to the point of what you're making quicker. Cameron Mirza, how you doing, Cameron? How are you doing? You and Rocky and Cosmic Lightning Warrior, good times. Good times. Good vibes. Good vibes out there in the universe for our friend Cosmic. Black cumin seed oil. That also clean the blood. Good for his bones. Garlic is known antibacterial. I've used it before when sick. The ass-eating triangle has been discussed yet today. No, it hasn't, Cap 6. Nothing's been discussed yet. Austin, Sujoka. Sogcha. Austin, thanks very much. Welcome. Big welcomes. Thanks for everybody. That's a couple already today. If he's not a vampire, then why are you so afraid of the garlic, Jamie? It's not me, mate. It's not me. It's it's Rocky will be fine. It's just I don't want to handle it. You have seen pictures of me, right? I don't get older. It just doesn't happen. Like, for example, you can see my Instagram, which I'm not going to pump. You should actually check out Rocky's Instagram. It's probably Rocky_Outcrop, something like that. You'll recognize him. That's a real shame, Apple Blossom. If only there was an easy way to rectify that. What's Apple Blossom? What's happened, Apple? Now 286. What's 286? There's 261 people watching, 156 likes. Oh my goodness. Failure to deliver. Hope you're feeling good, mate. Aaron Pauline, Grace Foundation, most definitely. What's happening out here? Why is that deleted? More likes. Yeah, more likes, please. My great-grandpa used to eat raw garlic constantly. You could smell his ass a room away. But he was a healthy old goat right up to the end. That's nice, Amber. We used to laugh at our grandpa when he'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go fishing. But we weren't laughing later on that afternoon when he'd come back with some whore he picked up in town. Some more fishing tackles. Thank you, subscribing, Carter Jackson. Tradespotting. Hi, mate. How was your weekend? Catch some rays? Did I F, mate? I didn't get any sleep. Didn't get any rays for, like, the last time I got rays was on the break on Friday in between Rocky Stream and mine. Didn't get any rays. It's working. Trying to catch up. I'm only 2 days off. And then I was preparing for other things and got like a last minute invite when I was free last night to do a stream with Jackson Hunter. So I went on, did a quick stream with him. Well, it wasn't quick, it was supposed to be, but I then dragged out and talked all through him, probably peeved him off, but he's a solid gold bloke and I enjoyed speaking to him again. And talked about all sorts of different things on that stream. That was good. You should definitely check that out. I was supposed to be doing a stream with myself, Rocky, and Ape Andy. We're going to do a joint stream, like enthusiastic, positive, similar to last Monday's vibes, and talk about charts and good things that were coming for us, all of us. Cool. Well, look, Simon. What's I saying? Do this all the time, innit? Like, Cameron Mirza was timed out. Get up, you Cameron. Cameron. Streamlabs has obviously got a capitalization thing here. We could fix it, but I can't be bothered. Rocky Outcrop, be excellent to yourself. Simon, just super chat $4.99. Was that separate? That was a gain. That was a gain to say those things. Jeepers Creepers, Simon. Didn't notice. Thanks. I will check that. I will check that. I had fun watching that. What was that? That was the last one. Oh, or was that the stream with Jackson? Jackson, yeah, check that out. It's on Jackson's channel. Check out the stream that Rocky and I did last Monday if you haven't seen it yet. It's interesting for TD sequential and information about phase changes in the market. Now, you can look at that phase change. You can talk about it in all the different ways it may or may not happen. I'm like proud of Rocky and myself for having made an impact now and on not just in getting some form of like support and audience, like that a sustainable level. Each of us have done it, and much of you guys are in both of them. And thanks so much. Thanks doubly so much. But also, like, we've made an impact a little bit in how we've managed to communicate about the benefits of some of the things we've found to be good in trading, and I've seen that across now a couple of different traders who I really respect using maybe little bits of tools that is some way, if not directly, indirectly, or somehow in a ripple effect, 7 handshakes and whatnot, things that we've found to be really useful, but never were able to get the exposure to talk about, so weren't able to help people with them, like, because this sort of thing, doing this sort of thing, like, if anyone says to me, oh, this is happening, right, and this is how it works with good traders, right, somebody says, this, I think this, right, what the good trader thinks is, I think you should shut up and stop talking to me about what you think, right, because I'm not fucking interested, and so it's very difficult to capture the attention of that person, just as it is to capture mine. So to have done it with so many now, and for the information to have made it out there to these people who I respect, so much, in little ways, is like, yes, it feels so good. It's like such a hugely rewarding thing you might not have expected. And so many of the things I've done since starting this, like, that are really rewarding, are actually the surprising things that you would never have thought beforehand. Like, initially it was seeing how people who I interacted with would then make friends with each other, right? Not even necessarily in my chat, but like over content somewhere else on the internet. They'd be like, yo, this guy, and you'd be like, yo, that guy, yeah, and then used to be friends. And that thing's like, that's a dead special feeling. And then when you see other people like use things that you use and build them into their strategies, and your strategies like then are making a difference, and their strategies are so good to start off with, one of like those some of those people inspired you to approach things slightly differently than you might have otherwise done. It's just so awesome to be involved, like, even if it's not like your name, it's still like, and even if it came through like other people who told you, and like, just to be part of the change, fantastic, like, it really is. So, can't remember, if the SPY goes down, how does it affect GME or AMC? Well, we've got like a negative beta, right, or like the way we're talking about it now is like delta, isn't it? Or what how do people want to look at it? It's like negative beta worked fine for me, and like I was like defending the suggestion of negative beta on Twitter like 3-4 months ago. People were like, that's not possible, things don't go negative beta, have you ever done maths? And it was like, who the fuck are you guys? Fucking tubes, man, everywhere. Anyway, yeah, we're in the net. We don't need to worry too much about that. How does it affect it? I'm not getting around to the super chats promptly, so people are going to get pissed off. Sorry about this. I apologise in advance. If SPY goes down, how does it affect GME or AMC? Well, tech's been on a bit of a tear still doing well. Tech. GME you would consider to be tech company. And so, yeah, you're looking at SPY. You're thinking, yo, is it doing that disconnect again? It looks like it is doing that disconnect. A lot of things are, and GME would be leading that. AMC, I imagine, would be doing well too, but GME's would be the focus in that front. And look on the AMC chart over there in 15 minutes, go down to 5 minutes, and we can see it came down to this line here. Rocky's like, I mean, how good is Rocky at this stuff? Hey, it's credible, right? It really is incredible. Touched the line right on it, right? This is a 236. Remember from watching this stuff, right? How do we get it up and show everybody? It's just a celebration, right? This isn't Rocky's. This is me. I'm not as good as Rocky, right? This is just tribute. Down touched is 236. It's just like, I didn't change any of this. I'm just showing you what it starts. See, so you got that there, and you've got a bounce. So, congrats, Rocky. It's all come in a little bit of volume. That's different from the previous action. It's not yet broken above significant levels to reflect change in trend. The RSI down here, lower. I mean, on the 4 hour, huge hidden bullish divergence. Second test of this area. On 15 minutes, you can see hugely bullishly divergent again. This time you would have to hope for a 236 recovery. You can also say this is a higher high, but this is a lower low, so there's flux. It's also reflected in the crossover on the DMI on this lower time frame. So there is no considerable change in the volume. That could easily have been like a, oh, struggle street fail. But this, with the bullish divergence, if we are in an uptrend, should it like get back above this high, you would say that's great, that's doing very well. It may touch, will it even bother going lower before there? Let's see, it's like, what is this moving average he's got here? It's a horizontal line, Jamie, it's not a moving average. Bam. Like, so I'm following along, right? I'm working on somebody else's chart. I'm not deleting anything, so bear with me and we'll see. That's 236. Let's see. Here's your high. Here's your low. Touched that 236 already, that area. Let's drop another horizontal in there. And then, let's see. Rocky's been saying that it's going to go to 94 for a while, along with other targets. So these are the areas like short term you need to recover 38. Spot 20. Can you make the chart bigger, Jimmy? Oh, whoop. Yeah, we can, right. We'll just get into the TA and start answering questions there. Remind me if super chats I've not dealt with, and I'll try and get through them and do the TA side of things so that for that part of the video we've covered it, and then come back to chat and see how everybody's doing. So welcome to the Rocky Outcrop show, hosted today by Tradespotting. I'll see you slightly smaller in a second. Yo, what up? Check it out. Mainboard connecting. Oh, it's reticulating its splines. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Chart's filling up. That's with all those generous folks already. So we've got the charts are slightly bigger. We could, I suppose, open this up on a chart all of its own. What do you say? Shall we go in and do AMC just on its own? This full screen. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Escape. That won't be fitting in the things. Thanks for the spiffy shirt today. Rocky Outcrop. This is me, Rocky. Genetically very similar. Right, so what were we going to do? We're going to put this single panel, weren't we? Right, we can go back to double panel, and do we lose everything? It's going to get AMC, but we go back to this one, and then we get them both back. Damn, if I go to single panel, that'll give me AMC. Nope, still gives me GME. So open this up. AMC's are starting. You know, this is unusual for me to start on AMC TA. It is. And Rocky's, truthfully, has a lot more in GME than he has in AMC, but he has a lot more in AMC than I do. Though I did increase my position at around 33 there. Thanks for the spiffy shirt. Hey, Jimmy, tell Rocky I hope he feels better soon. KKK, big love, buddy. Will do. If he's still awake, then he'll have seen you, but he should be asleep. And we think this is going to try a recovery. It filled a gap that came on. It opened down, touched the 236. Right, okay, yeah, I should start right as if this is the beginning, because some people will want chapters and they'll zoom in, or else perhaps I should make a clip. Hey, I could record it for a clip and then you'll have it at least. Yo. It's tea time with Rocky. No tea, that's fine. Have coffee or a juice or a glass of water, but make sure to hydrate. And Rocky won't be with us today because he's not feeling well. He's under the weather, and he could do with your good vibes. So send him out in the universe. And this is the technical analysis that he would have done. It's not as good. It's just a tribute. So he'll starting with AMC, we'll move to GME. We'll cover Bitcoin, Link, Tezos, and anything else you want to look at. We'll also look at the banks, a couple of big banks, and a time frame there to see if they're in some sort of Wyckoff distribution and what the implications might be for the greater narrative that we're all looking at across the market. So we'll touch on those things and we'll talk about these in chat. But to start off, we're going to do the technical analysis and beginning with AMC. And here you can see we're on a 50-minute time frame. We opened down with a gap. We went touched 236 Fibonacci retracement. It's not quite obvious on this size chart. Can this all fit on the screen? Just let me double check. Not getting stuff on the far side. Move that over. Does that work? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work, Jimmy Ball. Shit, I'm not very good at these clips. I'm swearing again. This is bad for his channel advertising rates, and I've already ruined my own. Cannot do it. Oh, I was at the edge. It was fine. It's because his scale's on the left. Oh my goodness. I can just change that. I can just put these scales on the right. All right. And then, yay, it's even easier for everyone to see, I think. At least it would be if that was my decision. Kind B, sorry to hear about Rocky. Here's $10. Please buy him some tea and honey. It always makes me feel better. Kind B, you're a legend. Kind B is on the r/Tradespotting, and it was my cake day on Reddit, and I put up a picture saying, "Oh, first cake day since I've like really been active on Reddit, every day, and celebrating that in a nice silly way." Put up a picture that Rocky took when he came around during a live stream, and I said on it, right, because people were like, "Happy birthday," and people seemed to think it was my real birthday, at least that's what I imagined, but that wasn't my real birthday, which is September 11th. It's around about the sort of time that dividends are generally paid by GME, that sort of time. And nice work, KK. What was the question? Want to answer? I don't know. What was the thought? Who knows? What is it? What is matter? Never mind. What is the mind? No matter. We have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel. I can't remember what I was thinking. I was thinking about move this across, did this stuff. Oh, who fucking knows, right? I'm distracted, so I'll go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Opened up, down, touch 236. Yeah, I was showing it on the 4-hour chart, and I was trying to figure everything to fit on, and then probably talking nonsense after that. So we opened down. Yeah, you can't see that in the 4-hour. All you can see is this big doji dildo down at 31.41. That sort of area, 31.08. This is 236. It's Fibonacci retracement. From where is this one at as it happens? Whoa. Starting way down here. That's far away. Oh, boom. Yay, that's the fib, right? That's the one. The one fib that rules them all. He's got it right on the 236. There, you want to hold this, right? This is white for a reason. If it drops, then you've got various ones below. This would be such a natural retest, and so we're on the 4-hour chart. The question you want to be asking yourself is, from a technical analysis point of view, you want to be looking at trend, you want to be looking at volume, you want to be looking at volatility, and you want to think about momentum. Or you could just keep it simple, sexy, and you could think about trend, momentum, and patterns. Or you can include all of those things, and you can build patterns into your analysis where and when it suits, right? Now, that's a good way to do it, especially if you don't put too much focus on the patterns themselves, but more so the psychology that goes behind them. And so here you've got what is AMC. Is it a ascending triangle? Well, I mean, if it was, it did the breakout to the bottom side, and it will have done what would presumably be some sort of measured move, right? That would be like something like that. Here's the drop out of the bottom. The measured move's actually like a little bit down here, and this is the danger of this zone on AMC, and it's 4-hour chart. And hey, I'll just put it out there, right? And I'll say this price action needs to bounce here. It needs to do in some sort of a turnaround, right? It needs to. Because the measured move, if what we truly were in this triangle, involves a drop all the way down to $20, right? Now, it's likely that drop actually is arrested slightly beforehand, because on different time frames there's other areas where it could come in its horizontal support. But it could also then, and this is what I say that, but the next Fibonacci level in at 382, that's down at $18, right? So it triggers lots of thoughts, right? It triggers lots of thoughts. It triggers, to me, thoughts about how there are analysts who'll talk about this, and those analysts will have a big effect on market participant psychology. And they'll say areas where they think's good value, right? $25 perhaps, where they might think was a good area. And the truth is that prices aren't determined by aren't determined by your opinion of what a fundamental value is, right? That's not the way it works, right? Stop talking shite, right? The way it works is prices are driven by speculation. So if you go and put your information out into the world, and that information is to say that the price is lower than it currently is, then you are speculating that the price will go down. And you're putting that information out into the world to a large audience. How do you think that's going to affect their trading, right? So that's a simple message to put out there for everybody who's talking about things being fair value lower, but there's a squeeze coming and this could happen, right? For a start, right, there's extreme issues with the ethical approach you've got there and the greater financial implications should you just be in a play that is exclusively about you and profit. There has to be a greater cause, right? There has to be. And so the question becomes, why are you trading and how are you trading? And what are your, what is determining the factors that influence what information you put out there or not? And from my perspective, it's to help people, right? And it's to be honest and to be educative. And that's the same way that Rocky treats things. It's not to be anyone's leader. So that's not to say that our analysis is affected by a bias. It isn't. To a large degree, we spend a lot of time working on a counter thesis to remove that bias. But the point is, if you've got a big audience and you put out targets, you better be sure that those targets are a good area for a bounce if they're lower than when our price is, or it could easily go right through them. And now there's areas below, right, at $20, and there's areas at $18. There's also an area down at like $13.77. If everything goes to shit, you're looking back at $8 again, right? That's all on the cards if this doesn't recover where it is now, right? Now, there's no like, oh, let's definitely stop at 25, right? Now, there's potential for that. Let's check out the daily time frame. Let's see, like, it came down here, what was the low on this? 24.71, 25.98, that sort of price, right? This is a daily time frame, open and close. It's likely that there might be some activity there. But it's just now so much danger of these levels. And what you really want is to see it bounce at the 236. This to not even be a downtrend, right? This to just be a continuation of this trend here. The problem with that is it's got a little bit to go on it, right? And you could conceivably see it wick down to the 382, especially on a daily time frame, and then recover. And it's dodgy, right? If you're looking at this in the ascending triangle, and if you're going exclusively off the full size of this measured move, but it's likely it actually only does something like 60%. That isn't so low. Maybe then does recover around 25, 26. And these are all what's going to happen if it doesn't hold where it is at the minute. Chris K, best wishes to Rocky. Bud, wow, what a huge donation. You're a legend. Thanks so much, mate. Rocky will really appreciate that. It's a huge deal. Thank you so much, Chris K. Right, so what you really want was a good zig. Is this to turn around here in at 236? So that's the daily. On the 4 hour, you can see that like it has this potential bullishness here. Should we turn around, put an uptrend? You can see over the piece, it's got huge hidden bullish divergence here. I could see that working out very well. A bit bullish, and the hidden bullishness behind all this is very positive. Wow, that's such a big donation. Thanks so much, Chris K. And you want to see this turn around, right? So 4 hours telling you like there's a divergence. You can see what's happened on the DMI, right? Well, the negative trend has been in the ascendancy. It has also been in conjunction with the ADX pointing upwards, increasing in strength, and now reaching above the 38, right? So that was very strong. It does tend to be, though, that it is darkest just before the dawn. This trend may be weakening. How would you measure that? Well, the divergence there on the RSI, you can also see that there's not quite the same picture on the, well, certainly not as clean on the MACD. Let's go up a bit again just till I check the MACD. Well, there's not getting much out of that. This is also now recovered. The negative trend is in ascendancy on the daily. Really would want this to turn around. Some sort of a bounce is likely. The positive thing you can say here is that there is again touch divergence, reaccumulating above the bearish control zone. It's not dropped in oversold. It needs to recover its own EMA and the center line, then go up. Does it do that much on a bounce? Well, first off, it needs to recover 38 43. And it would be fantastic to see it at 43 from here. If it does that, then you could look again and we'll see where it's going next, right? And that's your quick TA on AMC. Let's zoom in a little bit more. I mean, that descending triangle thing, right? That's on Rocky's chart. There's also loads of other things you draw in there, and he's drawn it illustratively to give you a point and talk about danger and the necessary point of it, but bouncing here. It has obviously filled this gap. It didn't need to keep going down here, but like that's what I say, right? These things become a magnet, and especially with things traded like this. And it's the same sort of behavior that you'll recognize from if you've seen my technical analysis on Gamestop, and how when certain market participants take over, which have got like a certain type of approach, and that focus is not copied, but the same conclusions are reached by multiple people independently. These things obviously show up on the charts, and an asset starts taking on a new type of trading behavior, right? This is something you get a feel for over time. Like everybody will, doesn't matter if you're shit at trading, you still get these things somehow. You then take that conversation you have with me and go off and lose money sometimes. It does my fucking head in. But people get better experiencing these things themselves. Pardon me, I'm swearing far too much, and it's not my channel. I need to fix that. And this is supposed to be a TA clip rather than me giving you life advice, right? So anyway, shut up, Jimmy. These things take on a particular pattern, right? So AMC's doing that sort of thing too, and it goes to the 236, having already got to this gap, could have easily turned around. It put in its own like degree if there's an inverted head and shoulders. It had to move off the back of that, not a proper one. Didn't manage to break through there. That was normal that it would do that, but breaking down below the center line wasn't positive. Putting in a lower low isn't positive. There being divergence, there's like a little bit of a puncturing that negative case. But it does still say that there's a lot of danger on this thing. You need to recover those levels, and those levels are, like we say, 38, 43. See even clearer on the 15-minute. That average true range in the recent past would suggest that a recovery would be out of character to happen without you having good warning of it, right? And so you'll need to see positive candle opens and closes. On tiny time frames, you can see... What candlesticks has Rocky got on here? It's just normal. It's just normal, Jameson. Why does the menus not come up when I click things? Oh, he's got different types of things here. He's got the Sekinashis on. Right, cool. That was easy. Nice one. Right. As you can see, right, this could all go green, things could look great, and it could still not be breaking above certain levels. You need to check your indicators at the time, your oscillators, and see with regards to momentum, how things were looking. This thing's got another thrust on it, that's for sure. See how that goes. The question is, it break above here, right? Here's your mini levels. Let's do this. Let's do this and come back to it before we check off, because I know that a lot of people tune in here specifically for the AMC's content. So we'll come back to this one for sure, obviously. So shout out to all the apes into AMC. I've got a lot more now than I ever had in it actually after the 33 top, but I still wouldn't say it's a lot, because especially compared to the people in the audience here and mine, right? Mine say like, you know, same people. But anyway, point being, what you really want to see this doing is recapture the 236. That first one's 33.73. After that, you're looking up at 35.53. Okay. 33.73, 35.53. Let's get Rocket to 10k subs. Tell 3 friends to sub. That'd be awesome if we could get Rocket to 10k subs. It was only 200 and something off it, or 300 something off it, you know. And he's been doing so well, like the velocity recently has been doing so well that it likely would have got to 10k, you know, today or tomorrow, especially with the joint stream with Ape Andy. It probably would have boosted it up that wee bit extra and got him on. And unfortunately, like the best laid plans of mice and men, you know. So if you can help in that endeavour, it would definitely boost his spirits. But, you know, good vibes also count. Everything you do for Rocky appreciates. And you've already all been so nice to him. GMC equals bigger than AMC. It certainly is in my portfolio. Gaston, please refrain from spamming. Caps says Streamlabs. Although, to be honest, that didn't look like spamming to me. You know, yo, high five. Gaston, how you doing, buddy? Right, I'm not reading chat now, actually. I'm doing this other stuff. I'm missing too many super chats, and people will be like, why are you seeing that message and not seeing my message? And it's because I'm incompetent. Right, so Yes, and do I think it'll do that? Yeah, I think it will, because it still doesn't change structure. It's not really asking much of it. It's a good place to start tricking people, get enthusiastic, and get the poor people to lose even more money. Right, you want to be measuring these things as and when they happen. Personally, I think this is a no trade zone. I already got some slightly higher. That was fine for me. We'll see how that goes. I know in time it's going to be up at 100. Well, people have got my TA for a while now suggests the AMC is going to go at $97, at 96, 97. Then it'll go up around 109, and could possibly go around 126, 137. So and that before that when as and when that happens, like, I won't be surprised at all, yo. So. Do I think it's a long time off? I don't know. And all these people that come out with the whole, like, this is this narrative, this is when this is going to happen, that's when that's going to happen. This is because of these things. I think these people do it because they're motivated by some sense of whether it's good or not. I'm not sure. The point is being that to like direct the audience in a particular way, and I don't think that that's particularly sensible, because I've been at this for years and years and years. So is Rocky, and the people that you'll see that we talk about, like Eric Crown, I mentioned before, when it was the good well wishes Rocky's been getting. They've been doing this for years and years and years, right? What matters is the charts, not the fucking story you tell yourself about how X and Y and Z is going to take over the world, not how, like, this new thing that's never been seen before is going to, like, somehow, like, pierce that I don't give a flying F that everybody has and has had about every other world-changing possible news and idea ever since the world existed. If you just because you believe in something, it doesn't mean everybody else does it. And if you all put all your emphasis on the narrative all the time, you will be subject to fatigue that you don't get when you focus exclusively on the charts, right? This is your engine. Keep it ticking over, keep it working, understand how it's going, and the truth is, the reason you tell yourself that narrative is that you tell yourself that narrative, and the reason you're doing that is because you're anxious, or this feeling of like wanting stuff, or like this need for a lack of patience, or perhaps you've made bad decisions and you're in too heavy, and if take that out of the equation and deal with your financial situation responsibly. Right now, I'm not going to have sympathy for people who can't do that, because it's just immature and irresponsible. And if you've got people who rely on you, you've got to put them first, right? So to take that seriously. Second, the reason we tell ourselves that story is because we can make, like, we recognize how it turns out. We know, like, we root for all of the things that are us, and it reaffirms our bias, and there's no problem with that. That's cool. But if you rely on that too much, you will experience fatigue. You will get bored. You'll get fed up. And if you don't, other people will. And the truth is, you can't just look at the charts, right? The charts tell you absolutely everything. There's literally nothing that can happen that can't be seen on the charts sooner than you'll see it anywhere else. Unless you're the guy making a decision. And there's only 4 or 5 of them in every company that would ever be able to do that before you'll start seeing stuff on the charts, right? So this is your news. Why am I talking about that stuff, man? Anyway, yeah. That's on Taking Issues, and you talk about this, and you can see that nothing really out of the character would have changed if it gets up to these levels at 35. Again, the same thing can be said higher. Really, you want to be opening, closing 4-hour candles over and above 38. As and when that happens, you're on for something positive. If that can happen all without prices dropping lower than they have done, and you can maintain this level of horizontal support which you've put in on this 4-hour. I know we spent a long time on AMC, but this is tradition. This is the way I do things, right? Maybe this video is going to take too long. It's a nice bounce, really, when you look at it. The wick on there, that's quite a positive candlestick in the end. I would rather it was green, though, and had more on the top side. It's got 53 minutes left in this 4-hour. Try and remind me to come back in an hour, and we'll check how that goes. If it does stay up there, get higher, and if this finishes green, better. If it doesn't, it could drop down lower, and we'll see. But this is a good area for a bounce. Does it get another test of it? Quite possibly. There's bullish divergence in a minute. Does it get one more touch? Quite possibly, right? I like to see that on my own trades, especially if you're trading a reversal. And if that's a reversal to the mean, i.e. you're going back to the overall trend, then it could be that it drops in lower. It could be that it forms like more of a trend in this area, which is very possible, right? On the 4-hour, if you look at that too, just so that people don't panic. You could say, there's like body closes, body closes, body closes, but truly it's like this is the breakout zone from this move. And so, like, yeah, it is possible that it bounces here for loads of different reasons, even if it does test it again. It's just I would like to see it doing other things, and that until you do, you can't talk about it as being amazing. That's for sure. Now, Here you are, baby. 169.99. GME, 169 spots, 99. 170 spot 1. Is that what it is? Let's drop down so we can see. No, we have dropped down. Let's take it off the connections. Go back to the normal candlesticks. We're on log. Yes, of course we are. We're on 15 minutes. We'll get rid of the indicators for a second. See what's this doing, right? It's come down, double tested this area. Reasonably positive, put in this shape here. Didn't quite manage to hold on to an inverted. Wait a minute, are we on? Yeah, an inverted head and shoulders there. Because if it had of, they would have been absolutely screwed. So they smacked it down right in the very beginning. This is so freaking obvious, right? And people say you can't do TA manipulated charts, right? This is so obvious, right? There you go. This is the manipulation there. It bounced. That's a higher low at the time. A convergent uptrends and winning. Hugely hidden bullish divergence on that. Not quite as positive on the RSI, but still, it's there. It's just a whole lot more obvious here. And it's not as good as you would like to see that, to be honest. Again, you want to see this recover in certain areas, right? It's good that it came back up, filled that gap, and then some went up and touched this 174 area, right? We've done this on my charts, and we can see that on the short-term time frames, that's a 236 retracement. It's great having a brother like Rocky. You're right, D. It is so good having a nice brother. I'm so very, very lucky. Like, absolutely blessed. The best gift I was ever given is Rocky. Right, we're at the top of this thing. That's not where that fib I'm talking about. It's probably from here. Nah, that's 618 and that 236. Yeah, it's above that. So it's not that one. Must be up here then. It's like try a piece. It was Tradespotting in the kitchen, in the toilet. Tradespotting in the toilet with the hammer. Yeah, that's 236 below you. This is the Fibonacci Rocky's already got on here, or else I did earlier, did it? No, it wasn't earlier because that was on AMC. I was drawing that. So was it this? Who knows? Where did I drop that in at? Anyway, right, well, we've got this one. Know where it is. It came back up above this 236, touched a 382, down again, touched 236, bouncing between these fibs. Perfectly natural. That's what we'd expect to do. This is indicative of some sort of recovery. The opening below it thing, that's just nonsense, right? I don't put anything in that. Here, lower, again, hard to put anything in that. KK King, feel better, Rocky. Cheers, KK. Rocky looks different today, lol. Hope you're feeling better, mate. He does, he looks different. He looks different in real life too. Ding dong ding dong. What does that mean? It's an alarm, right? Has Rocky got an alarm? You should be asleep, Rocky. 173. So we've bounced between these levels. 382. You want to see it maintain this level above 100 and I do too. 167.50. Let's call it. I'm going to be above there. At the minute. You want to do it on a 4-hour open close. What have we got so far? We've only just recovered it, right? So we want this candle, if it does drop down within the next 49 minutes, to maintain that area. Right, that's all we need it to do. It doesn't have to do anything crazy yet. 167.70. Let's call it 167.69. Right, we want to hold that level. Well, it's not. It says it there. It's 167.74. Yeah, forget this sometimes. Right, so 167.74. Hold that, open and close the next 4 hour there at the end of today. That'd be fantastic. I'd be happy with that. We could do a lot better, right? We could smack up here and test 184.15. That could happen. I think we're going through a phase change. I think things are going to get better for GME. I think, cue the sun. Cue the sun. It's like, this is the thing, right? People have seen, I've seen that, this is like me putting out tidbits here in between other technical analysis. I've seen people have conversations on Twitter and so on with other good creators that maybe aren't necessarily related to GME or AMC, and they've talked about the video that Rocky and I did that came out of last Monday, I think it was. Anyway, the DD we did, the most important one so far, and there's reasons why it's most important. It's not necessarily the most complicated. It's not like the greatest discovery of all kind. It's just the technical analysis and that particular combination of indicators that go in that particular way at this particular time is getting that news out there so that people were aware of the opportunity and the risk that this zone presents, which is huge. And you don't get it often, even in this asset. It was made it important. And we combine that aspects of that analysis, all of which are shades of grey, and it's very difficult to summarize that video in one sentence, or we would have done so. And so when you try to tweet about like the implications of what we're saying, it'll always miss out on a degree of the video itself. And so you are better off including it when you're asking people about things, regardless of who they are or if they're experienced with GME or AMC. If they're serious about finance, and a lot of these people I've seen conversations with hundreds of thousands of followers and aren't people that are into this normally, right? They're big finance channels and they've responded in different ways and it's been positive. But if you want to frame the question properly for them, you have to link the actual video because there's so many other things in there. And some people hear like, oh, fib-based time zones, and they're like, no thanks. And it's like, cool, I understand, because it's been an idiot that showed you them before, but actually there's areas and things about them that help. And you can do it on smaller time frames, and you can see the moves happen on the phase changes, and you can do it on the bigger time frames, and you can see that they define market highs and lows in these phases of uptrends and lows on macro time frames across these fib zones, right? You can do it in so many different ways, and it can complement technical analysis. And there's some some really good people using little bits of it to show stuff to people, and like I'm so makes me smile so much for all the right reasons. I love it. Anyway, point being, right, so you go out and share something, you say like, Jamie Curran says this and that. It's like, cool, Jamie Curran does kind of say that, I'm not going to disagree, but also like pick it with a pinch of salt, and that's coming from the horse's mouth, right? It has to be all of the things they say have to be considered together. And so yeah, cool, tomorrow's a good day, and so's the day after, and day after, and day after. And then we're in what we think is a new phase, and we think that that'll become self-evident. But opportunity is now, and so that opportunity was down here. Now you've got a retest of this area. If you do get one at 167.74, that's positive again. If it then goes up and breaks through this area at 180, and that touches up again properly up at 184, in this area that goes 184 spot 43. If it opens and closes a 4 hour above 173.93. GME opens and closes a 4 hour candle above 173.93. It will hopefully, and quite likely in all cases, go straight to 184 spot 43. If it opens and closes above there, you're looking back to previous levels of support and resistance. There's a couple of them come in here. Your areas, again, like they're back up above 200 and stuff, right? And so where is it exactly? Who cares, right? It's back above 200. At that point, you're then thinking, how does it look with regards to strength? What's the trend like on the lower and medium term time frames? Are things turning around? Because on those time frames, things are currently down. On these higher time frame, medium, like you've got your higher low here in the 4. You've got your higher high here, right? This is all perfectly natural, nothing to panic about. You shouldn't worry about it. The charts will be like you want to follow this story and not get exhausted. The charts are where you do it, right? They're actually quite calming, especially in the right time frames. You don't have to tune out and ignore things. You can watch these videos, and it definitely helps. Subscribe us. It definitely helps. So don't disappear completely. Right, get this retest to 236. Done that, 15 minutes. You can see that. If I've been here already, it feels like I haven't just moved back up to see things, right? So yeah, it's clear that getting to the 618, similar to the AMC story, it's not going to break structure. It will start to look positive on a very small time frame with higher highs and higher lows. But in a macro time frame, really, you're looking at support and resistance at important levels. The breakdown of this area, for example, is one of them, and that's at $200, 201. So closing up and in around there, really, really positive. It would speak really positively to where this price action is going. And if you look at open interest and you think about the way that I don't want to spend too much time talking about options here, especially because they'll be putting out at the minute quite a direct message to talk about with options at this stage. So if you want to learn more about them, most people here have got access to Rocky's Discord, and I'll be spending more time in there with Frostcrest and others who are learning all about options, and I'll talk about what trades that work better on this in there with people on that side of things. But the truth is, at the minute with these sort of things, you don't get opportunities necessarily. you can't necessarily manage your positions if you're not doing things properly, and it is a risk, and you end up losing liquidity. And it might be better that you just buy shares, and I certainly would say that that's my recommendation. Right, because it's got a lot of upside, and you don't need to be greedy. But sure, there are other ways of trading, and I'll be in talking about it. If it were possible, Citadel would have pushed it there last week to put their put contracts. Aye, they would have loved that if they get it anywhere close. No way we get to 50, in my opinion. If it goes below 50, the amount of discount buying will be insane. Yeah, well, all these things are narratives, bloodshot blinkers, and the truth is the charts like say there's a stronger one. They say there's a stronger narrative because people trade these things. They push them around. That's what happens. You know, big accounts, like we're talking billions of dollars, trillions of dollars perhaps. And if it plays into Citadel's hands for it to be like that activity all to be shown on our exchange and that all to be down, and then our buying pressure not to be enough to counter that on our own exchanges, and plus all of the nonsense on the dark pools, you know, it can get really hard, right? It can. And although it seems like it makes perfect sense and it will bounce eventually, you know, it just like you never necessarily get certain areas. And it's true, there are areas, right? 158 is an area, 150 is an area, 142, 144 is an area, 146 is areas, right? But more importantly, it's down when gain at 138. And that's so important. So important. If it at least bounces there, if it even gets there, it should ideally be a wick that recovered within a day, especially in two, and it would be back up higher than where it is at the minute. And hopefully it doesn't happen because we've already had a significant test of a significant area, and there's absolutely no need for it to go the other direction. You would think that insiders trading this would recognize the opportunity there because they themselves have a degree of risk off that you don't, and you would think that those people who are trading this that are actually the insiders, the people who run the business, will have seen this opportunity because it presents itself well, and like I imagine have people that will give them this advice, the technical advice on what things all the time. If they don't directly employ stock operators themselves, so like in and around these areas, they'll have seen like this opportunity coming up. In fact, they may even themselves have created it. So you never know these things. You never know where it's going to stop. You can just outline potential things from the chart and it tells you areas, and you've obviously got like 136 here. You can see it's got a few touches, 132, but it's 138 on like significant time frames. Here's your 4 hour. Weekly lows at 150, hasn't got there yet, but it's not far off it. The 158 call was fantastic. You know, we don't boast about it all the time, but we get a lot of stuff right. Here's your like confluent lows with those wicks in here around 150. It's not though the 4 hours. So on the daily time frame, what are we seeing at that area? Again, it's not. It's really 158 and then down 138, and this is the area you're actually looking for. It better not get there, right? If it does, it will bounce at some point. I mean, it got here and it will bounce from here. It's just a question of where the recovery goes. And yeah, Rocky's got it there, right? Green from now, that's the point, and we put this video out previously. Confirm hidden bullish divergence at these prices upon 195. That's where we need prices to get to, 195. And in that story, well, we're doing good, right? We'd had this is we called it from here, and we've made it up considerable, right? Distance so far, $15 plus 10% increase on prices since we called the top potential turnaround. Above the 236. That's positive. This is not the fib that rules everything, though. That is higher. Right, so now I've got a couple of extra fibs on Rocky's charts. Hope he doesn't mind. And that's your GME TA. And come back in and look at that later, right? Because we're all already above the 236 here, all we're actually looking for is this to then push up and do a 184, a 4 hour open and close where we are. Very, very positive. I've said this before. We don't want to drop much lower. 16774. That's where we want this 4 hour close. It's dead close, 3 hours 8 minutes. How did I miss that? Can't have. That's the daily. Yeah, the 4 hour, 38 minutes 13 seconds. How have I been getting these times wrong? Is this countdown's right? Well, 38 minutes was it right? Anyway, 38 minutes, 169.95. So, I don't know if my volume's loud enough, am I enthusiastic enough? What's happening? How many people are watching? Is everybody tuned in? If you hit the like button, it's really appreciated if you hit the like button. Rocky's not well. I'm sure you like everybody to be sending out good vibes and hit that like button. I'm sure if you looked at it later and it was really high, he'd be dead happy and that would probably boost his spirits, which would probably make him feel better overall all the way. So, click that like button and anything else you do, send well wishes, say hello to him on Twitter. I'm sure he'd love to see all these things when he gets his head about him, but he's got a terrible fever and his bones are killing him and he's got blood poisoning and he's not well and it's very dangerous. So there's your everything there, right? There's also, like I did that's GME. You've got everything talked about there. I'll post in the smaller time frames. You can see actually positive situation here with the DI plus taking over. But the ADX is like collapsing, so the strength of trend, right? A lot of flux, things are going to change. You'll probably get a volatility signal off that shortly. Things will move, come back after that, and then move off again. And yeah, I expect to see this doing well, right? 217. Oh, wouldn't that be nice, right? That would break a lot of market watch, and that would be them. That would be them looking stupid again, and that. And sick of calling these newsletters out. They should stop doing it. It's so obvious. Like, if you've got something positive to say, awesome. If you're going to shut up, no one's interested, right? Luke Spears tuned in and loving it. Awesome, Luke. Great to see you, mate. How are you doing? How are you? What's the weather like where you are? How's everything going? Hope you're doing good. You're a legend. Dragon Slayer. Drake Rocky Outcrop. The background is very nice today. Very chill and ASMR. Yeah, cool, awesome. I slapped that on because I wasn't sure how Rocky's scenes all work, and that one came up, and I thought, yeah, I like it myself, so we've got that in common. Would be fun. Grace Foundation, what would be fun? Tell Rocky best wishes, hope as well. Will do, Jeff Smith. You'll see these because he'll watch this video back. He's probably horrified that I'm doing his channel for him right now because you know what I'm like. I'm a lunatic. Right, so we've done AMC, we've done GME. What did everybody else say they wanted to look at? I've got super chats that keep me remembered of these things. Got subscribes, got donated through it's sending all good vibes, healing and positivity, Rocky. Take care of yourself too, Jamie. Will do. Epiphany Jones, what a lovely message. Thanks so much, Epiphany. Chris K with that huge donation through Super Chat. Best wishes to Rocky Bud. Awesome, mate. If you want me to look at anything, let me know, Chris. That was a huge donation. Gaston. So fucking Jack, man. You're so good, Jack. You're so good, Gaston. Your name like means Jack to me now. I've read it with so many Jack messages beside it. Kind B, you're a legend so many ways. Kind B, I was saying this earlier, joined obviously the Reddit Tradespotting subreddit, which is by no means trying to take over anything, right? And anyone saying that, it's just silly. It's just what it is. It's what it's always been. It always will be. It's just me trying to help people and make friends on the internet, right? So, got a problem with it. Anyway, some people are really the vibes there is awesome. Everybody's dead happy. It's nothing like loads of other places. Everyone's just positive, posting about positive people. Everyone's positive, pro everything GME, AMC, particular GME because it's mine. I love the place. I love GME. That's what it's going to be for the time being, right? But it's about how to change the world and how to trade well. And like, just so happens that the best thing to do that with at the minute is GME. So like, these all things collide. And on there, I put up this picture. Yeah, that was right. I explained most of it, so everyone will be bored. Picture, cake day. Wasn't my real cake day. I felt I need to emphasize that. Pointed out that I'd said I'll give you a free T-shirt to anyone who can guess the price of GME on my birthday, right? Which would be the 11th of September. Idea being when it got to 11th September, I'd look at this thread and see who came closest and send them a T-shirt. So you can feel free to vote and like put in your price tag on that thread if you're on Reddit and you're on Tradespot and put in like your vote in that, and if you're closest, you'll win a T-shirt, and it'll be the limited edition one, which there are only going to be 100 of. And you can win one of those ones, right? Which are slightly more expensive than the other ones. They're even more unreasonable. And you can have it for free. And I put that in, and then Kind B answered with what the price was on the previous 11th of September. And because I didn't specify, it's like that was the correct answer. But no, it doesn't work for any other years. Like, we don't go back years and say, well, this is the day he was actually born, so this is the price of it, in it, because it didn't exist then anyways. But you can't win any more other prizes. So Kind B won it. And because she was smart, I said, you can, we'll give two prizes. One for the person who gets the intended answer, and obviously one for you now because you won it already. And it was smart thinking. So I sent a T-shirt and asked her for her address. And she talked a little bit about what she was doing, her position and her attitude and stuff. I'm not going to share it now, other than to say she's so awesome, such a nice person. So I sent her two T-shirts. So there's two T-shirts on her way to you, Kind B. One for yourself and one for your husband. And it's slightly bigger, so hopefully it fits. I didn't know. And I just wanted to extend it. So that's that. Market Watch Post sponsor content from Citadel. You tell me. You tell me. Tell me what's new, Dragon Slayer. I believe Citadel owns a significant part of that company, if not the entire publication. Yeah, I bet you they do. I bet you they own dirt on the people that own the companies that own the companies that own that company. Probably, I don't know. Allegedly. Rocket Crop Jamie, I meant to award you your TA post yesterday on your Reddit sub, but was flying high and awarded someone else's post by accident. That's good, man. All good in the world. I like it. Something about that story makes it even better. So congratulations to that person and to you for spreading that love. I'll say $911. Spot 21 cents. Well, that's good guess, Brady Pearl, but it'll be lost in the annals of time if you don't put it on that post. Because that's where I'll check, not this reading back in this chat to remember it. I'm not writing it down. That's why I like too much work. I am not a cat. Fantastic. Who's talking about fantastic? Feel better, Rocky. L. Baker Matthews, I found you here again. L. Baker, are you a real baker? Are you a real baker? We're not going anywhere till I find this out. Oh, we are. We're going on. We're moving on. But that is the mystery that I'm yet to solve. Are we on the normal candles? We are. I can see we are. I can see we are, Jimmy. Flex. Anyway, right, it's the 4-hour that was important. And it was the... Yeah, we talked about it a lot. 167, spot 74. That's what we need to open and close a 4-hour. We're currently going to close. Now we're going to open, right, in 31 minutes, 17 seconds. We're going to then open a 4-hour candle, and hopefully it's above that 67 level. And then it's a question of do we close that candle above it? And it could be it could be that that for the rest of the day we hang around that level, you know, because price action like is suppressed or people aren't enthusiastic. Volume that we're seeing is nothing to say starting volume as yet. Part of me is to digest that squash / diluting juice / cordial. As price is 169.89. So if we do that, it could just hang around at this level until the end of the day. Could well happen, right? That would be fine. Be good even. But I think that the GME is like, I think it has got some serious momentum behind it. Like I think there's a serious phase change, and I think that there's an awful lot of people have recognized how good this is as a bargain. This is right. A lot of people were thinking if it can get down to 158 areas, it's got there. It's got there, right? And they've bought it. And you don't see shit all here, right? You don't see it, and I'm telling you, when this is all over, and if these people don't mind, I'll show you stuff that shows that this is bollocks, right? And I'll show you that, like, if it isn't, then every single one of those people was sending me messages at the time that they were doing this stuff, which I know isn't that right. And we'll do the autopsy of these people afterwards, and we'll be like, look at this, man. Hey, and high five to all you guys, right? So, and girls as well, as it happens, like 7% of the Tradespotting, 9.7% of the Tradespotting audience is girls, which I think is like staggeringly high for a finance channel. And a couple of years I've got an awful lot more money than me, and these are awesome people. And so, you know, collectively, the girls there have got such an awesome effect on the culture, and I recognise that really strongly. I call it girls, right? Ladies, females, whatever stupid ass word suits you, right? All dudes in the end of the day, if you ask me. But they have got a different type of atmosphere, right? Mother Nature and whatnot. It's really good effect on the culture, and Rocky's Discord and so on benefits so much from it. And shout out to all you Mother Nature influencers. My buy orders are waiting. Keep it up, Hedges. Waiting? Where the hell are they waiting? They're waiting in there. Yeah, so like we've done AMC, we've done GME, and I'm not going to start ruining Rocky's channel with stupid ass stories that go on to talk about nonsense ass stuff and distract everybody till they leave, and then his viewing time goes down. What else does Rocky look at? We're going to look at these banks. Risky. I'm so fucking jacked. Gaston. Sorry about Rocky. Here's £10. Please buy him some tea and honey. Yo, can be tea and honey. Good shout. Yeah, good shout. Got got them some other stuff, but that's a good idea. If the SPY goes down, how does it affect GME or AMC? We got to that. Cameron examples. All right, here we are. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Phase B. What's your thoughts? Cool. So you got banks. It's not got banks necessarily as a category. Well, it may be here. JPM, 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 JPM. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Right, there you go. Ooh, sugars. Yo, JPM. What's up with your chart, yo? JPM, you've got so many good analysts. What do they say about your own chart? I'm so interested to hear what you're saying over there right now. What you guys saying? He's having a bit of a stressful day, I imagine you are. Heart goes out to you. Heart goes out to you. What about all those equity default swap you guys are doing, eh? How unethical are those, by the way? Well, also, you guys are pulling out the DTC, huh? Is that happening? You're pulling out of there, is it, guys? Is that what's happening, JP? Yam, Joe. JP Morgan, you know, he personally came out and saved the world when he said, "We will buy." And his reputation, has it been improved since by the people who carry on his legacy? Or have they besmirched the very institution that he claims to have saved? Or, you know, was that narrative ever the true history in the first place? Well, this got a gap, right? This is at a low, you know, people will then go crazy. The trend is like confluent, everything's cool and all, this is all right and so on and so forth and whatnot, but things tend to oscillate. It's at a area where it may bounce and it'll probably come back up and fill this gap, right? And I say that, right, it might go a little bit beyond it, but that's the area we're looking at, right? It's like 151, call it, right? Give or take a couple of cents. AK, Jamie, what were you born? Year were you born? We got the same initials, and September is my birthday too. Lol. JC is me. Wow, this is weird. What year was I born? We are going to have to work that out, mate. You're going to have to work that out through all the clues that I'll give you. That is that I am currently 37 years old. Right, so there's a clue. You can use that with your own noggins and you can work it out. I'm currently 37, so you're going to have to, you're going to watch this, it's going to do that, probably, right? Or does it, or does it just, like, collapse? Well, I mean, I think it's likely it does actually come, like, to something there, so 4 hour, let's get something up here, actually. What's it look like on the daily? Do you reckon there's a gap on the JPM chart that hasn't been filled? That's my question. I was about to ask. And I was quickly answered with that one, yes, down below at 141.90. Is it going to fill that? Well, this doesn't look good, right? This nor does. This looks fucking awful. This looks just as bad, and this is nothing to be right home about that good. This is terrible news. This has come from, on this time frame, just like, yeah, sure, whatever, but we looked at others, such as this one. This is awful. Like, this is the start of something bad, but it may turn around, touch 150, then go down to 141. There's your JPM. What's it going to do on... What's it going to do when it comes for you? Phase B, Wyckoff distribution. It's got lower highs there. We'll go into the daily and look at it for reals. This is an inverted head and shoulders. If it breaks down this area, the measure and move on it could be awful, right? So if this is going to do the full breakdown, which I don't imagine it does in one go, right? We're talking about JPM here. Right, so there's no point being facetious or trivializing things or being stupid. But No, where's the breakdown area? Or in truth, it's where we've already started to break down from. As you can see here, we're on daily time frame. And I'm not a huge fan of head and shoulders. And if you've met me anywhere else, you'll have seen me say this shit. But, it's actually like that, right? This is where the confidence comes from in this thing. You're already breaking open and closing below that. It needs to recover 2 hours 52 minutes for the daily. It stays down here. Everything says that it's going further. Areas that it likely goes down if it doesn't hold 141, come in around 127 bucks, 128 bucks. Ow! Right, that's your measured move off an inverted head and shoulders. It likely gets caught at this area here beforehand, right? Puts in another mini inverted head and shoulders with a fake out second wave that looks like it's coming back up. As a third wave that's like fails to reach even that high, which itself was no recovery at all, comes back down to the basis line that it'll have put in there between the two shoulders, and then it'll collapse again. It'll probably go down to 129. How can I call that kind of price action on an asset like this? Right? Well, because I did that for years, right? That was their job. Right, what's next? And cool, what's going to happen though? It's going to screw everyone around at these levels and take a bigger drop that people didn't expect. And probably it comes like a lot of it after hours, and we'll see the recovery too. There's other gaps here that are worse. Oh, for fuck's sake, this thing's got this below it. Wait, what are you doing? There's no way that's happening, right? There is no way that's happening. That's not happening right now. It's not. I know that the technicals might say that all about things, but you got to put your own experience into things, and then on top of that, you got to talk about the actual asset you're talking about, and it's like, well, you know the pies that these people's fingers are in, right? It's not happening in one go. That might not ever happen. There would be a good area for it to do it at. It's tomfoolery at. These are the things, right? They're all below. All of them are below. This chart screaming out below. This is like terribly, terribly bearishly divergent between these two highs. You can see this coming a mile away. This is awful. You even got the divergence. Oh, you got this even during that. Oh, geez, you even got it here as well, right? This was the signal to be taken because then it called the top, right? Rocky's DMI gain calling the top. Right, look at that divergence. On top of this one, that's the confirmation. That's where it comes in at. Otherwise, you'd be screwed, especially assets like this. They already put in like a touch of divergence on one indicator. They do it all the time, constantly do, because there's nearly always one market participant driving it at one particular reason for their reason, which you'll never know what it is. And it's nearly always because of divergence, because everyone's like, well, let's just back off a little bit. And that happens on this asset, up there with most of them. And you need to like something like that. You need something like that to be able to trade this safe. And like patience. Patience works great with this. Wyckoff distribution. We want the point and figure chart to really get this out of here. Phase B distribution. Yeah, if it fails this area, sure. Touches down here, then you'd be strangling around that area for ages, and it breaks down again. This does fit with the Wyckoff distribution, but it's made higher highs over here. But then it does flip, right? It's just put in higher highs, right? Yeah. It's gonna fill this fucking gap. It's gonna fill this gap, and then afterwards it's gonna bounce, and then the theory about Wyckoff distribution is sort of secondary to so many other things on this particular chart. It's saying that it's still like overall until you get down here and test this, which will again definitely be a bounce. That's still like, this is technically Wyckoff accumulation, right? And it's still in it's still in the it's fine, right? This will bounce here and it'll be fine. But that's horribly distant. Wait. Sugary. Anyway, you're not actually doing, I mean, unless you want to do T on that, like there's a tiny recovery, then it's collapsing. That's what I'm saying. What's the next one we wanted to look at? We wanted to do point and figure, which I get up by doing this type of chart. Nope. Is this menu different from mine, or am I just confused? No, I'm putting on that. I don't want that. I want point and figure. Is it right in front of my face? There it is. Ugh. $4 you were saying, wasn't it? Alright, of course you didn't ask about that. You just want to talk about Outcrop distribution, so we're really talking daily, but we'll look at the 4-hour. See. See, I'm talking about Wyckoff accumulation, right? This is this phase still. And these are higher highs. Oh no, it started its test. This is your low that you need to break at the minute. This is the high that you need to break. That low starts higher, that high lower, right? You're in phase B potentially. You need to see this close below here, yeah. It is a flip if this goes down. If this closes down at those areas where I suggested, then yeah, you're right, and it fits with the TA I just did. It's going to go down there, it's going to close, it's going to try, it's going to come back up, fail to put in a higher X here. It's going to fail in any sort of test above 155 likely. 159 certainly won't get above 159 again. If it closes down here at 14, whatever we were talking about earlier, this line, 141, it's definitely moved into phase B, and then you've got your rest of your move on it before it weathers itself out and you're coming down again. There's another reason to test that area, right? Here's where you come back and there's a definitive like area, like as your Wyckoff accumulation period, which we're truly actually in on the macro here. It's 4-hour, doesn't make any fucking difference really. Here on daily it seems way more obvious. You're in an uptrend. That's the point of figure, it's accumulation. It's just a question of do you hold this level, and if you don't, boom, that's it over. This phase of it, you're coming back down to test here. Does it recover from there? If not, you're testing here, and still then that's positive for this thing. It's going to be an amazing trade. That's where you enter on this. That's where you enter on this move on JPM. Why did I go back to here? I was supposed to be doing a different one. Oh, I was going to do that. Yeah, so now we'll look at back. Anyway, if you were trading this, right, I don't know. I'm not really going to advocate going short on it because of the way these. It's just not how I trade, right? But there is a short move there. What you're actually looking for on this is a good entry. It's JPM, right? It's JPM. What you're looking for ideally would be a really, really good entry, and the really good entries are first ones in around 127, but actually you'd be much prefer it at 110. And if you got this at $105, wow, $106, $105.50, that'd be cool. And if you did, you'd be looking at a move over a period of time. It was something like, take it, this is what I'd be looking for in JPM, and I'd be quite patient and take it over time. Looking for my target to be the first one at least up there. Your stop loss would be beyond that level there. Your first target, second target. Ultimately, you'd be looking for a retest here before anything's broken at 150.75, and that trade would be 5.57. And it would be good. You can even leave a little bit on the table and say, depending on how it comes down, if it puts in what I suspect it will do, right? A gap fill, a bounce, a retrace, and then look like a harmonic. That's what this is going to end up doing. I know, like, you're going to say it's from the future. He's from the future. I know you're going to say that. And say something like this happens, right? This is what you're actually looking for in this trade. Here. 1414. Possibly as far as the 1618. You'll get like, what do you get out of that? Like this 100% move. It's on JP Morgan. It's probably going to happen. In the meantime, you've got loads of areas where you can take profit and then take all of your risk off the table and just leave the house money on it and see how that lets it run. You could even use William Fractals. That's that. And that's how you trade it. That's what's happening. That's your Wyckoff distribution phase B. That's it, all what you asked. Like I think added value there. And it's like clear, right? So like let's look at Bank of America. Now these things tend to work in unison anyway. Rocky's already had this up. He's obviously talked about this divergence here, this swing failure here. It's failed to reaccumulate. This trend has not maintained. It's broken its trend. Can't even fill the gap. Fuck. Created a new gap. Ugh. It's likely got a tiny touch of relief, which might come through. This gap will probably fill, comes back. It's going to struggle even to get above 137.60. Just like a huge danger of it faking out at 39.22 to people who think it's recovered, even if it's got all the bullish signs and the divergences. Like, that's like huge danger there, tricking people who think it's going to at least fill this gap, and they're left holding this. Though that is a really good area for it then to get above that. It's like, then I don't believe it, right? I don't believe it's getting above that until it tests it and fails at least once. This thing looks shit. And then 0.5 is the recovery and breakdown. So this is a relevant fib. It needs to get above 38.66. That's going to be asking a lot. If it does, that'll take it up to 40 bucks. It's not going to get there though. It's going to fail. It's going to close the 0.5 that's at the top of the gap, and it's already shown you that it fails at the 0.5, and it really failed. It failed the shit out of that. It's going to fail the shit out of it again at the 0.5 if it gets there. If it does, it's likely, or it gets to 382, then fills that gap, right? There is that chance. It's only a tiny wee one with the wicks and whatnot, so sure, it could go on. But if it does, I'm not trusting that at all. I'd only trust this after not only it recovered to 618 up at 40 bucks, but it then have to be breaking this level here, which is so close. So I want to see it above that wick to 40.93. That's crap because there's a gap there above it. And then you're like, this high is still a lower high up at 41.71. You're not getting there even. It's crap. This is crap, right? This is crap. And any recovery is just because of the divergence here, and people are taking their foot off the gas because they don't need to force it down. It's fallen down under its own weight. Nobody wants this here either. Never mind, like, up there. No danger. This is screwed, right? Temporarily in the short term. I'm not celebrating that. I just think it is a bit weird. And then, you're right, they're both like, those two charts are both showing desperately bad information. Still obviously fine on the daily. It's like the same as the other one. It's got a long way to go before you see it like on the daily time frame. You can see already it's equal to its previous. Like, that's just shit. It's put in a gap and it's got divergence, so it goes up and it doesn't make any difference because it's already sort of like you can see here, this is a 4-hour close below 37.52. That's going to confirm it here, and it's ahead of the other one, and it's worse. Don't know where the drops are on it in terms of TA. I did it, didn't I? I think I did the TA on this already. I did, right. Now I'm going to move on. I'll go back. You're right, mate. That's all moving into phase B distribution, and that's on the smaller medium term time frames. On the higher term time frames, it's not yet in that. It's not yet in Wyckoff distribution phase B. Haven't done anything particular like that, but it has put in a swing failure after having put in bearish divergence at the top. It's now failed its recovery. It's not going to do shit all with this 236. It's asking so much of it. It's got all the sort of weaknesses that it needs to just collapse again. Got little tricks that it'll come up and do and screw people that aren't very good at trading and then it'll probably go down again, and it looks like bad news for these things, and that's not good news for anybody apart from our little buddies. 170.50. You're doing good, little buddy, and you're at 33.05. You're back up at 33. You're doing all right, little buddy. Okay. Excellent. So this is nice and refreshing, having looked at it like that. Crap, which is what that was. Oh, we got the bars. Bars. GME got bars. Look, that's positive. Could do better. Could have done better. Need to see it do better. Need 185. Need 195. Need recoveries. See, this needs to do not all that different a thing. It's just it can and has all the things that suggests it might. Just the, you see, like, as bad as JPM and as bad as Bank of America look, you're likely going to get burned if you try to short them from here. Generally speaking, if you short these companies, you get burned, right? Ethically shorting is something that's reserved for the very best traders. The instruments that you use to do it with maximum efficiency are incredibly dangerous. But not if they're managed properly. And so necessity is that you're very good at what you do in order to do this to the best of your ability. And the chances are you're much better off actually looking for longs on these sort of things. And would I suggest you take one here now on those two things? Well, it'd be very counterintuitive. It would be like a very contrarian play. But there are reasons why both of them probably bounce up and do like a little bit higher than they've been. But that isn't to say that they're going to go on. I think that there's danger there and that you would look to those lower areas for entries on those, and those probably be good trades over time. That's how you'll get rich slowly. Right? There's no rush, no help in rushing to be rich and plenty of wealth and waiting to be right. And nobody's going to give you a hard time for having a shorter holding period on Bank of America or JPM than you do on things like GME or AMC, right? Nobody's going to mind if you use that for paper handing. I'm sure a lot of people will. And when I get back to my place, maybe I'll look at doing it for myself. And so, yeah, there's a chocolate bar in front of me. I've just noticed. What was it I was thinking before I noticed that? We'll look at something else. Somebody want to look at something? Let me check what this says. SPY goes down. We talked about that. We talked about Bank of America and JPM, garlic. Awesome, right? We've covered most of the stuff there. Well wishes to Rocky from Ghost of Internet Past. Obviously, you make me think of Bill Murray, and I smile a lot when I think of him. Eagle Falling, subscribe. Tail and Bonda, subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody who subscribed. And how many people are watching now? 335 concurrent viewers. Awesome. See, when I look at the charts, I'm looking off to that side rather than the other side when the camera is actually over there. So, wait, what's way? I should have the camera around so that when it looks like I'm looking to the right, I'm actually looking at this chat. Outcrop, Jamie, can you look at at? Why not do Wells Fargo? Why not do it? Well, why not do everything, Case Guy? Jeepers Creeper, Case. Sorry, Case. Case? Case? Yo, Case. Why not do everything, Case? Why not do everything, eh? Do you want the ticker on the Wells Fargos? Tell me the ticker and the time frame. Ticker and time frame, Case. Outcrop, can you talk about SPY? Yeah. Only down 1.98%, right? But Joa! Higher low, probably bounces, gaps, gonna fill it. 430. Okay, talking about SPY, supposedly tanking today because of COVID and inflation. Do you think that if it dips below 380 on the day, it could signal the end of the bull market? Thoughts? 380 on the day. It's not going below 380 on the day. Who told you that, mate? On a daily, yeah, but not today. Will it signal the end of the bull market when that happens? Well, one, two, three. Oh, it's got all three. One. Only got one. Screwed here. That'll likely turn around, come back, test 38 at least, if not the center line, then go on again. This already kind of turned down, it's touched this area here, right? This is like obvious what's going on with this thing. Why did my line not show up there? Give me my line. Why is my line like that? You can see it, but I can't reach it. It's like when something falls down the back of your Washing machine. Right, well, my line's falling down the back of the washing machine, guys. I can't do any more TA now. Line's gone down the back of the washing machine. Shucks. I was about to tell you how it's likely that SPY actually turns around here, goes back up, potentially fills that gap, then we'll have a conversation. That's up at $430. Price is 422.66. I know it's likely it does that. It's got this is lower, sure, but the prices themselves aren't lower yet, right? Does that mean it's got extension on it? This is starting volume. That's not good. Yes, but it's a gap, right? It's also got 3 touches of the divergence, but one of them's from quite a long time away. It may get another one. I mean, I say another one, it could be like the bearish one that could be on the other side, and it could be putting in a couple of oscillations before we see that manifest. Now you've done it, Rocky Outcrop. I don't think it will go below 38. Maybe at some point in the near future, Dragon Slayer. Yes. Maybe at some point, let's put a letter in there and say Dragon Slayer, so that Rocky can come back. So there you go, you can have that conversation again with Rocky when prices get there. Should he see this? If that ever happens, and it happens, they're blues. Question, innit? And it doesn't need to be so big, right? Rocky can read himself. Wow, that's tiny. Wow. Well, I'll make it small for him. Right, 24. Okay, everything's good. What time is it here? 6:30. Right, Detroit, right. We covered that. Right, now we're going to go on and cover other things. Right. So make a clip of this thing. Excuse me while I reorganize things. Right, Outcrop, is this Weebull? No, this is TradingView. What? Dragon Slayer, I've seen your name before. Why are you saying such silly questions? No, it's not a silly question. I'm not saying it's a silly question. This is TradingView. There's a link probably in the description here to get a free trial of it. It's a charting platform. It's separate. You're not even asking this, and I'm stupid. It's a charting platform, separate from a trading platform. You can connect it up to them, but the advantage of it in the first place is that it's separate. That it gives you a space somewhere separate from an actionable trading platform where you can look at and do analysis, and it's a good thing to do to separate those two things so that you can come up with a plan when you know you're not stood there staring at like all these greed and fear and opportunity and cost and all these other things that will affect your decision making. Just be thinking about the charts when you're thinking about the charts and drawing a narrative, coming up with a pattern of confluence, and then taking that information somewhere else where it's not distracted by the ability to make and close trades. Right, it's always time for TA, and it's good to have these things distinct. Also, TradingView gives you more options than you'll ever get on Webull or whatever. Right, a lot of people turn up and they get new to trading. They think, well, you know, Watch Exchange has got the nicest looking charts, and they use that to trade, and it takes them sometimes a couple of years to relearn that TradingView or another platform that's a charting platform is your best choice, and then it's likely that the exchange you should be using is the one that looks the crappiest, that tells you warnings all the time to make sure that you're aware of what risk you're taking, that doesn't give you commission-free option trading, right? That clearly isn't into payment for order flow, something that's taking the money off you to make you decisions that you're making, and that's fair value at the end of the day, right? Because this commission-free trading idea, you know, you're a punk if you're doing that. You're just a punk, man, because it doesn't cost that much to use proper trading platforms that actually care about you, not in the degree that they care about you, but they know that you'll leave if they don't treat you properly. None of these other stupid ass ones that are like treat them trading like a sweet shop and lead to serious mental health difficulties for people, right? These things should be treated like gambling websites, and you should be aware of it. And there's like various gradations towards that line. And I'm not saying that Webull is that or isn't that, you know, but I mean, they've sent me plenty of emails saying like, "Oh, we'll sponsor you for this, or we'll do this, and we'll put this link in here, and we'll do that and that." Everything I've ever read, I've been like, I don't know, right? I don't know. There's a couple that are okay for that sort of thing. Rocky's got a link to one of them in the description here, but you took time to look into it and see what is this shit all about. And so I don't know, right? I'm not a big fan. Is what that's not even mentioning all the other stuff that goes along with this. Right, I'm not going to start talking about it. Anyway, right, we're looking at Bitcoin here. We're on the... Let's have a proper look at Bitcoin. Oh, Rocky's been saying about this because this is a CME futures. It's a new chart, right? I should probably make a clip in case Rocky wants to use this, though I don't know if he will. Shickety shick, shickety shooku. I was doing that other one, it lasted for ages, and I didn't even stop it or start it during other assets, which I should have done. That was silly of me. So here we are, looking at Bitcoin. Charts need spread out because that's like rank, innit? Welcome, I'm Tradespotting, standing in for your friend and mine, Rocky Outcrop. Never break the chain. Here we are covering Bitcoin. Now, if you're a long-term member of Rocky's audience, then you and I will be friends, and it's great to see you here. And if you don't tune in for the live streams and you only catch the clips, and we're doing a Bitcoin one, and if this ever makes it to YouTube, then hello, great to see you again, guys and gals. As you'll know, we're in a bit of an uptrend on the weekly time frame on Bitcoin. You know, back in October 2020, Bitcoin, well, it was only 11,000. Like 12,000. Then we managed to make it all the way up to 64. That was fantastic. And if you did tune often, you'll have seen that Rocky called this top and said that we're going to 32. And we did go down to 32. In fact, we went a bit beyond it in the end. And we're a bit beyond it now at $30,655. This demand line on the weekly, it means nothing, is silly, but like, you know, there's little or go on below you, so we'll take it as something and say, and it comes in at 21,745, that sort of area. If we were to go there today, will that happen? No, it won't happen. But I'll tell you what, there is some big news, and it works even on this chart. You know, you probably know the GBTC unlock is today, I think, and that's big news for Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of coins for sale that weren't previously for sale, thousands of them. And what do you think's going to happen? They're going to get sold, mate. They're going to get sold. You can also see that this is a pretty freaking obvious head and shoulders here on this weekly chart. You really, really, really don't want to see that. Here's your measured move off that. Here's your log chart. It says Bitcoin's going way down, right? Way down. But the chances are that you're not going to get that. You're only going to get 60% of that move. And that move takes you from 30 to 5. So that's 25, so you get 60% of that, say 50, let's call it 15, so 15 from 30 takes you obviously to 15. What are you in around there? Yep, this is this level of support and resistance. So I think it goes that low now. This is the question, right? I look at this chart and I say Bitcoin is going down. Here's where it may go to. The question is, does it get that low? Well, you're intersecting with this long-term demand line on the bottom side here. So it may get caught by that, and that comes in at around 21,000, slightly above there, like I was saying. There's also like a gap fill just below, which it might get to and go no more than, though it could take it on the bottom of the candle that brought it to the top of that gap. But it may then just bounce here in at around 25,000. And if I know Bitcoin, it will bounce there. It may not even get there. Let's look at this from another angle and say, I know we're on the weekly time frame, but hey, you know, this is me, yo. This is me covering this. So you tell me, do you like it? Let's see afterwards where we get to with this. There's also a touch of the 786 down here. It's going to bounce at that level if it ever gets there. We got the points, the 618 here. It's coming at 27,000 for 27.5, right? And I do know Bitcoin, and I don't even need to go off the weekly time frame, and I can tell you, right? Bitcoin. It's in a head and shoulder pattern on the weekly time frame. it put in some stinking minking divergence up at its top there. It did most of what it needed to do to come back. But the greater macro environment at the minute isn't positive for it, and there is bad news coming up with the unlock on the GBTC. The fact that it got here when that happened is no surprise. The people who are accumulating this are no different from the people who did it the last time. And they're the same people that sell you the lie that it's not going to work, that it's no good, and that it's a bad thing. The truth is they just want as much of it as they can get. It's so freaking obvious. And they're going to take it off all those people who had it locked up in GBTC now that they're selling it here and are getting it off them for pennies compared to what they could have if everybody would just hold on. But you know, that's not the way these people are trading this thing with the Bitcoin at the minute. And the signals say sell. That's what they say. They don't say it right now. We'll look at the lower time frames, but this is the Tradespotting giving you another warning, right? Bitcoin doesn't look good, right? That's my opinion. 4 hours, not going to delete any of these things. We're just going to see if they look valid. Let's get rid of this for a second. Go and look at this. That's the downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. The volume there. People decided, right, enough of this. This is continuing. It's going to go down. It's going to test in at around 28 again. It's going to happen. That again is lower, lower, lower. That trend's going to continue. You can actually see what's going to happen here. You can see what's happening here, right? This Bitcoin's either going to 27.5. If that fails, it's going to 24.5. If that fails, it's going to 19 grand. That's what's going to happen to Bitcoin. I've got down to the 4 hour time frame. I've told you, right? I've told you what's going to happen there. But Jamie, what about these oscillators? I think I see some divergence. And true, right there and there is. Like price action's lower. The RSI's higher, price action's lower, MACD's higher. There's going to be a turnaround. Before that happens, Bitcoin's going to go up. It is. It's going to go up before it goes down. I don't know if that's a big ask to make it do. That is a big ask. Oh no, though. That line I've drawn in is just like you've seen me drawing these before, haven't you guys? But you've mostly seen them the other way round. This is what this is, my friends. I'm sorry, guys. As well as being the right shoulder, there is another head and shoulders. There's your line. It has to recover from that. It'll at least test that. Probably fails. 60% chance it does. It's going to go around there. Oh, I think it might go to 25,000. 25, 26,000, 27. It does like to screw with people. That's your area, right? These are your entries on the Bitcoins. If it goes up, right, fool me, right? If it goes up, more fool me. It's going to go up a wee bit. It's not going to get above certain levels, though. This is positive. That's positive. This is generally positive with weakening momentum, but there's bad news in that the GBTCs have been unlocked. This is positive divergence, so there'll be a bounce. This, I would say the volume shows that this is people have changed their mind here. They gave up, couldn't be bothered with that anymore. Let's also say that this is like representative of distribution. You know, what you want to do is, let's check this Fibonacci. I mean, there's no point drawing a top to the bottom one, right? Because it's not going to recover this 236 in the short term, and probably that's what all these lines are on here already. If I did them, then I think I did actually. I did these lines. What are you talking about, Jamie? This was you did all this. This was you. Actually, what you're looking at on this. 236, 3210. A lot to get through. It may bounce up, right? May bounce up. I wouldn't see it getting above 37. Don't see it getting above 37. This move is not actually. It's going to take it to the 0.5 and it's going to fail. It'll be the Dow retracement and it'll go in at 35.6, 35.5. That's what's going to happen. So here's your lines. It's going to go up first. That's probably not going to get higher than 35.8, 36. It's not going to probably get higher than that if it even gets there. Right? You've got other areas that could fail first. But I wouldn't be taking a short on this until it was here and failed. And then I'd be closing it at these levels here, bits of it, and looking for a long, because I believe in Bitcoin. I think it's fantastic. It's going to change the world. It already has done in loads of ways that you don't even know about yet, and you're going to see over the next couple of years, right? So that's that. This is all done on a CME chart, right, which is relevant at the minute because GBTC unlock. Look at the normal Bitcoin chart and say, what does that mean? 37, and what's this at? 36.90, right? So it's in backwardization. It's already gone cheaper. The futures contracts are trading cheaper than the spot price. So it's in backwardization, which, if you know anything about trading futures and whatnot, it's not good news. Really not good news, right? See ya, those heading off. See you, Dead Money All-Stars, buddy. Awesome, thank you, Dead Money All-Stars. Thank you. What happened? Get back to work, guys. See you later, James. See you later, buddy. Home Team Poker, yo, buddy. Coach Mike Hawk in the building. Bing bong, price wrong. Hedge funds are fucked and it should be in jail. GNO Tradespotting and Rocky Outcrop for a win. Yo, Coach Mike Hawk. Where is Mike Hawk? Where are you? Have I got live chat on? Are you Mike Hawk? I don't know. I could say that really, really quickly 10 times and who knows what you were actually coming with. Trade cropping. Have I cropped the... Oh, no, I've not got this up. What's it look like? Oh, no, you can still see everything there. Trade cropping. Lawnmower in disguise. Kitty papers. Okay, so everybody's got that. What else do I need to cover that Rocky would normally cover? Let me see. Right, this... What does he cover? Forex. He didn't do that at the minute, does he? Lincoln Titleist, yo. Okay. Right, cool. It's going to bounce back up. Cool. There's a buy here, short term, link, $14. Question is, does it get above 17? Woof, tough. 18, tough. Does it get above 20? Spot 5? Probably not. If it does, you're going to take all profits all the way along here, but it's probably a buy short term. It's not going to beat $25, that's for freaking sure anytime soon. This obviously did well. That obviously not. This reaccumulating here, centerline failure, not good. That positive trend, that's good, but this is going to collapse if Bitcoin collapses, and Bitcoin is going to, if it goes up, but Bitcoin will go up for a while. This will go up. This might even go up more than it in the short term. You know, so you're looking at that, like, does it break that? Probably not. I'd take profits here if I got anywhere near it, if I was going long on this, which I might do. Let's see later on. And the truth is that it's actually going to have quite a bit of a struggle to close above there. It'll depend what Bitcoin does to see what this does. So that's link, right? You've potentially got a good entry if this doesn't completely collapse right where it is at the minute. Right? A lot of people will have stopped out of this because it's gone beyond those a perfect place. But if you haven't yet traded it, and then you could do this, right? It is perfectly acceptable. You could have a really tight stop loss and see how it goes too. But you've already got the divergence already now. This time accumulating above the oversold. Yeah, I think this will go up along with Bitcoin in the short-term time frames. 4 hour, don't see it getting above $20 though. I'd take profit already here on link at 1641. I'd take it again there at $17, and then I'd take shitloads of it at 18, just over 18. That'd be that, right? Might keep tiny bits on for this, but the truth is I'd looked at other trades at that stage, and that's how I would trade. You tell me how you trade. I'd love to hear it in the comments. And I'm obviously not Rocket Outcrop, but I will check the comments to see how this video performs. So, like, I wanted to have done good because I'm standing in for Rockstar, right? I'm your supply teacher. Shut up. I'm not like the nice guy. I'm the actual terrible supply teacher who, like, just takes us all out to play football or whatever, lets us all go shopping or something, whatever those ones do. What am I doing here? I'm on Tezos. That's again similar pattern. It's putting higher. Turn around there. Not got as good a sense from this, but still something. It could also try lower and test in with this sort of demand line. I could see that happening. Tezos doesn't look quite as strong as Link in that sense. So that's positive. Has also got that turnaround on the cards. That's true. And what about... It's a bit squished, isn't it? Could come further. Not great. Positive, but not enough on its own. But it's going to try probably because it'll follow everything else. These ones have already got lines on it. Rocky's looked at this. It's broken below the 236. He probably points out how bad that is. It's also below this level. And you look left, that's important. It got above. Sure, it was lower here, but it was divergent. Or was it? Yes, it was. and it's not yet again tested that area, but likely will do. And is that low, or is it lower when it does it? Another touch of divergence I expect on this. Has us a bit of struggle there, but once it does recover good, it's also got that head and shoulders that played out with another failure after that retest. It's also got that issue there. Jink, jink, jink. That was fine though. This was always going to fail after that. Right, so Tezos, like, it's going down. Rocky's already got the stuff on the charts. The next test below you is 213. Hopefully it recovers. If it doesn't go down, then it'll because it's gone to 24 and stayed above it for a while. After that, it's already put in loads of areas where it's failed previously. You want it to get above, but they'll fail again unless it just like beats all of them in one go. And it's not going to do that on its own. It's only going to do that if Link's doing it, and Link's only going to do it if Bitcoin's doing it, and Bitcoin's only going to do it if JP Morgan, Bank of America, and everything else has a proper good recovery. And it looks like they've all got a sort of contrary trade on the go that could be making you some money. That's a look around the market. It's a touch on everything Rocky normally covers, I think. The clip's made out of some of it. I hope that managed to fill a gap for people if you have one. And tune in again. Rocky does this better, more comprehensively. He'll answer questions in a tune with the way they're being asked. And he's unwell because he's got a health condition which has flared up. It's left him get a terrible infection. He's got sepsis. Really ill. It's very dangerous. I worry about him a lot. Hope he feels better soon. You'll love all of your positive vibes. If this is a clip, please hit like and share and tell your friends. He's nearly at 10k. He was so happy about getting there. We put in loads of work to make sure that like he'd be able to take advantage of opportunities this week, and it makes sure that the audience got like loads of new content. And then in the end, he's sick and like really sick. So got anything nice to say, now is a good day to say it to him, and you can say it in the comments of these clips or these videos after they put up in the live chat. Obviously you'll read that back, but other things have like longer lasting, so if you want to put in a comment on any of the series, appreciate it, right? And as it happens, Bitcoin's probably going down a wee touch. It might go up beforehand, lots of things might go up beforehand, but they don't look great. Okay, tune in to the live stream sometime. Rocky will be back soon. Bye. So that's a clip, but I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Don't leave. Don't you dare leave, everybody. Rocky is sick. Jamie is subbing. Yes. Hello. And who asked that? That is the chat. What can I say about this? Everyone's been really generous. 3 new members. Thanks so much to everybody who's joined up to support Rocky's channel by being a member. It's tell you, it's the best way. Like, it's not the best way, but it's definitely the best thing, because the members like all get reinforced by seeing each other, chatting to each other, being welcomed by each other. So everybody who does that here and welcomes the new members and makes them feel part of the family, you've got a new place to enjoy. And thanks so much for the support. It's really appreciated. And you're obviously making that decision because you've already agreed with me. So I'm not going to preach to the choir only. Everybody, welcome everybody and be nice to everyone. Thanks so much for all you do for Rocky and the channel and the communities have all built together. It's amazing. It gets better all the time around here. You've been generous with donations. You've been generous with your time. Thanks for tuning in to watch this with me. What did I miss? Did I miss something? I maybe missed something that somebody asked. Simon Cooper asked. Did Simon ask me something earlier? Simon could feel better soon, Rocky. Can't remember. Somebody asked me stuff. Did I get it all? Did I get everything? LG custom fabrication super chatted some boobs. That's nice. Thanks. Send nudes, everybody. Thanks. Look out Rocky on YouTube and Twitter. Brick up RR down 6.5% today. Ooh, let's see. It's Rocky. Getting used to his charts. Does he even have it? He does have it. It's on here somewhere. Stonks. Surely it's in stonks, right? $6.55%. What did we say about this? I can't remember what we said in my chart. I suspect we said it could come down a wee bit more. It's coming in for this area. This is like a likely area for a bounce, right? You can see here. Goes on the left once. Recovered it. That was an area for it to take up from. Bounced again 3 times, we'll call that. Call this 4, 5, 6, wicked 6, 7. That touch again 8, 9, 10. One touch, two touch. Right, okay, stop it, Jimmy. Likely it has a small bounce just because of that support resistance. To see it here again, having put in a lower high, not great. See there, that's neither here nor there. See there, negative trends in the lead. ADX is picking up. The ADX is picking up as the DI minus is turned around. It never made it to 38, and there starts to be a positive slope here. There is bullish divergence on the RSI. That move went further than market participants believe it should have. I also see that's true on the MACD, and you can see that there's a period of bullish momentum coming in here, and you can see that this is regaining something here. Right, so cool, it's down 6.5%, but you also need balls to trade. Look, there's this, it's potentially like fake there, done that, reaccumulate. Let's see. You could also do that in again, right? That's a very tight line. Truth is, like, I would look, when I was looking at it, I was thinking, here's this. This is low. Historically, it bounces from this area. This is a 4 hour, probably even more so on the other charts. You can see that DMI is turned around. Yeah, sure, it's slightly higher, so it's not out of order there. That's not divergent, but you can see that the ADX is only just picking up, and as that's happened, this is turning around. So we'll see if that continues to reaccumulate or not. I think it's due for some sort of a. It could go a bit more and bounce on the RSI. It could go a bit more and bounce on the MACD. You can see divergence across these two, and potentially there's good. That was a kiss come up. Wasn't proper Rick and Morty. There was chance. Nothing. Chance. Nothing. These two afterwards would have been better. Yep. So this was like to a degree reasonable. I don't know if reasonable is the way of describing it, but you could have maybe suggested there might be a little bit of downside on that thing. Whoops. Oh no, now what have I turned off and on? Didn't mean any of this. Don't want the G-force experience. What does that mean? Why did I have that line on there? Do I think it bounced here? Maybe, yes. I think so, probably a little bit lower in inbounce and then put in some positive divergences. Possibly, but it's got a lot to do to break this area. It's putting in what is overall, like on these, like, that's the date, it's a 4 hour, but you can see that that looked like and still could be, as long as it's like, I'm trying to see it above there. Obviously, these lows, like, I'm not even going to think about them, but I think, this is what people were looking at here, of course. Of course, right? This is what people are looking at, and they're going to be drawing these sort of lines right now. Right. This bounce lower high could take a while. This is like stagnant. That's the line I'm looking to. This one's already broken. Then I'm not really looking to this. It's just this is this trend that's starting to look like it's asking for. This one is the horizontal line, in which case you'd say, is this a descending triangle? I don't think it's got a signature here that says that that's going to break, and there's too much divergence to say it's going to go down. If it does, it'll get caught here, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think that that's actually got a little bit of a bounce in it. See how it goes. This is 872, so yeah, this is, I think it's fine. If even for as long as a month, I think it could hang around here, but slowly be sleeping back up again. See. The news catalyst for this, well, I don't know, right? They own shitloads of jet technology, right? Of internet, intellectual property with regards to jet technology. It's hard to beat Rolls-Royce. And they really are hard to beat. I think that this is probably in and around this area's bounce, I think. 6.5%, sure, that's true, and that does sound like a lot when you say it like that, and how things normally move over a 10-year cycle, looking back on their average days. But like this move, that failure of this area, It's likely to test this area. Putting in this formation is not great. I'm going to get up here above. You could do some sort of inverted head and shoulders, touch the top of this, and then see if you break out. But really, it's got other levels to break above of it. Above of it, except they're miles away. See, this is what it's like. Like, there was nothing in and of this bit here. Like, there's nothing in this. Like, between here and here, is like, that's no difference to anything at all. $87.24. I'm gonna go above there, really. Is that it though? It's not actually. It's not. It's way down here. Way 86.18. So this got like an area. Probably it bounces. Probably it does in around here. It doesn't change structure before it gets 105. This is like a 20-15% move on the cards. Easy peasy off this thing, if you ask me. That looks good. Divergence all over the place looks fine. I think I'm quite happy with that, and it's important to me because I do care about this, and I think that this is going to turn into something. Not that I care about it like immediate terms where a price goes immediately. Like, I don't care at all. I think this is totally fine. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's renegotiated its debt and got the 80% guaranteed by the British government. I think it owns crucial intellectual property with regard to jet engines. I think they're at the forefront of technology with regards to upgrading the carbon footprint in the aviation industry as well in loads of ways. And I also know that they've got lots of stuff coming through the pipeline with regards to nuclear, new types of nuclear power, right? I think this is like, in some ways, the fact that it's down here is a scam, right? I don't know why. I think somebody is going to be probably accumulating this, and I looked at the accumulation distribution before and saw that it seemed that way. And would that happen with a strategic asset that belongs to one of the top 5 economies in the world, and is perhaps their most number one company with regards to defence, certainly up there in the top 3 or 4? What's going to happen to it, right? Well, you know, unless Britain goes somewhere, it's going to be fine. In fact, now you're getting bargains, like historical opportunities on this thing, right? Weekly time frame. You know, do you need me to talk about, like, yeah, look at this, right? That looks like an ascending triangle on its own, but you take that out of the way. What is it actually? It's an inverted head and shoulders, right? There's a pincer recovery. Here's it retesting the breakout zone. Got all the divergence. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, I do. It's cool. Well, so everybody, I hope you've had a nice time. I hope that I've covered for Rocky sufficiently. I know he puts in a lot of effort. He doesn't do anything low effort. So I hope it worked out. And I hope people enjoyed it and you got something from the stream. And send Rocky your well wishes. How many people are watching at the minute? Let me see. 311. Not bad. Not as much as I've seen Rocky get recently. But then why would anyone want to see more of me? They got Rocky. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Market close in 2 hours. If Rocky's asleep, I'll go down the road and I'll go back onto my stream and I'll do a live stream for people who only really know about me, not Rocky, and don't know about Rocky. That's a lot more work, but we'll see. I'll at least do a market close clip, so I will go down and have a look at that. I'm going to go off now, though, take care of him, something to eat. Get myself something to eat, because I'm not eating since last night because of all this. No worries for everybody. Welcome, everybody. It's Rocky, the one that I'm grateful for. If you could hit the like button, that'd be really appreciated. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everybody. And if there's, thanks so much for filling in from, no problem. And if there's a difference now that I'm here, hi from Rio, Jamie. Bob, you're in Rio. I'd do anything to be in Rio right now. Bob, hi from Edinburgh. Hope you're having a nice time over there, Bob. Wonder what the weather's like. Oh, missed the sunshine today now. A tiny little bit of it, but I won't get any. Thanks, Jamie. You're a gem. You're a gem. So nice. You're such a lovely guy, man. And such a sound bloke. And you know what's cool? You're a solid bloke. Everybody here. Native Flight, you're a legend, mate. Feisty Goals. Yo. Zella v Doku, I choose Zella, holding till $50. Super Wall Street. I've heard people talk about Zella before, like spam bots that go around talking about Zella. So you're living with the spam bots if you're a real person. Thanks, Jamie. Get well, Rocky. Awesome. Thanks, Rook. H. Jones. Cheers, Jamie. You're welcome, H. There's Native Flight game with the Hearts and the Rockets. Whoa. Yeah. Rocky Outcrop 10,000. That's what we need. We've not got it yet, but that's what we need. What have we got, Rocky? Wonder what Rocky's got now. Can quickly check before I go off and see if not made this worse. God, that would be freaking awful. Hope this is not worse. Where is it? 293 watching now. Well, that's a freaking surprise. I've got my shirt on underneath. Studio. How many? 9842. Sugar, I think that is that down? That means he's 100. No, maybe not. 158. Can we do 158 after I've finished the video? Maybe not. Well, let's see. Hopefully he does. I'm not doing him any favours dragging this out and not giving it a bad ending. Oh, I should run credits or something. Does he have that? Where is credits at? Whoa, 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 whoa. People have tuned out. They'll have missed the credits. Oh my goodness. Roll those credits, mudders. Thanks for watching. Super chats. D. Harker, Merrick Sanders, Daniel Kim. Why are the credits above Kim Robbins, Adam Fraser, Katie Babes, Cameron Mercer, Simon, Paul Dooley. I missed you. Got you there though. Simon, Kind B, Gaston. He's jacked. Chris K. He's so generous. Epiphany Jones. She's brilliant. Andy A. Ghost of Internet Past, LG4 Custom Celebration with the boobs, Komodosh, I missed that earlier, Tommy Berman, Austin Sulcan, and Sony and Thunder. And Sony and Thunder, I recognize that name. Thanks for watching, everybody. D. Arker, Merrick Sanders, Daniel Kim, Paul Dooley, Daniel Sanch, Kim Robbins, Adam Fraser, Daniel featuring a few times on this list in various ways. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are really good to Rocky and to me. Really, really good. Love yous. Thanks. Yes, did it. We did it. We got it. Didn't break the chain. We're never breaking the chain.